Hello aliens, bunnies, potatoes, dinosaurs and clowns. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to respond to some unpopular kpop opinions I found on Reddit. Enjoy. Mian has the most bland voice in G-Idol. She has perfect idol singer voice, but in comparison to other members her voice falls flat to me. Every member of G-Idol has a unique vocal color and distinctive style that makes them stand out from other idols. Even Shuhua has good moments here and there, but Mian, she's too classic. In every group there's at least one person who sings in a similar way. Blackpink Jisoo, BTS Jin, and so on. For me she's probably the most uninteresting member. I don't stan G-Idol and I never really thought of this, so I went back to Hua and started listening to it. Mian isn't my favorite vocalist in G-Idol because I prefer a deeper voice for female idols. I'm not saying she has a high-pitched voice because she doesn't really, but I'm saying I prefer Yuki's. But I have to admit, she has an amazing voice and is definitely very talented, but she never really stood out to me like the other members. Anyway, let's move on to the next unpopular opinion. This is not hate towards him, just my opinion before y'all hate me. I'm allowed to have an opinion on someone's singing. I dislike his voice in songs like Magic Shop, Microcosmos. Just one day there are some songs that he's okay in, like War of Hormone. This was a slightly more aggressive sounding song, I think is why I find he suits this song the best. He doesn't suit elegant songs at all. I would rather enjoy the song and him having less lines in the elegant songs, Magic Shop etc., and more lines in the more aggressive songs, Mic Drop etc. Well, Taehyung's voice is basically the reason I'm even making this video. I literally became an ARMY after getting an ad of one of his Boy With Love fancam, and his deep voice in the second pre-chorus is what made me an ARMY. Tae is and has always been my favorite vocalist in BTS. But of course you're allowed to have your own opinions. Not everyone likes the same things. Next opinion. Feel special outfits were bad. And don't get me started on their stage outfits. I feel this is unpopular because I have always seen people praise their outfits, saying that the stylists deserved a raise or how everyone's visuals shone through. I personally feel that the styling could have been better, not to mention the tacky gold boots they wore for their R&B stage was just bad. Each outfit must have cost thousands of dollars, but they seemed like a quick DIY twice as stylists tried out. I used to like these outfits but not anymore. Was Dahyun supposed to be from JYP's plastic clothes collection or what? Nayeon, Momo and Sana's were just short and looked uncomfortable, but Momo's was still pretty. Jihyo's and Chaeyoung's weren't too bad. Chewy's was plain and ugly. And don't get me started on Jeongyeon's. I'm glad Minna got spared in that era. Anyway, next opinion. ITZY's music is a lot noisier than what people consider noise music. People tend to think of Stray Kids or NCT when they use the term noise music, but ITZY is always the group that comes to mind for me. Not Shy is pretty much all noise, like somebody went into the kitchen and banged pots and pans together. Same for Icy. Take Elevator by Stray Kids for example. The beginning is actually quite calm and it's only the EDM drop during the chorus that's noisy. Compare that to Not Shy, where as soon as it starts, all you hear is noise. I even consider it noisier than God's Menu or Kick It. You get a chance to breathe in these songs during the pre-chorus because we're one of a kind and the bridge My World, yeah, respectively. Whereas in ITZY's music, they never give you a chance to catch your breath. It's loud the entire song. I somewhat agree. I don't listen to NCT but I listen to Stray Kids and ITZY. Stray Kids music is not as noisy as people make it out to be. I always used to think that Stray Kids only had loud songs, but oh boy was I wrong. The only ITZY song out of the title tracks that gives you a break is one part in Dalla Dalla. The part before the Keep Your Chin Out We Got Your Back part. I'm not a huge fan of Not Shy or Icy, and that's probably why, because I prefer softer songs. Twice are one of the least exciting performers recently. I'll start by saying I've only been really into K-pop for like 8 months, so I'm still relatively new. I'm also a huge once. Shout out to the return of Queen Jeongyeon. But what I've noticed about Twice's more recent performances, like 2020 to now, is that they all seem kinda bored or uninterested during their performances. The two exceptions seem to be Jihyo and Nayeon, who know how to turn it on for a performance. Whenever you look at people in the background, they're just kind of blank faces going through the motions. It makes me kinda sad because I feel like they're not enjoying what they're doing. I have a few ideas as to why this is. Maybe no fans is like a big bummer for them and they don't like the quiet performing. Maybe not having OT9 was bothering them. Or maybe they're just tired of it. Their contract is up next year and maybe they're just worn out. This could be more common than I realize. But I watch other groups like ITZY, BTS, or Blackpink and it just seems like they're always giving it their all during each performance and Twice isn't quite there. I don't know what other people think, but I feel like most idols put on a sort of character or something when they perform and I'm not a huge fan of that. I really like it when idols smile during their performances but not fake smile. That was one of the things that drew me into Twice in the first place. The switch of concepts can be one of the reasons. Cause I see idols enjoying themselves a lot while performing cute concepts. But I think Twice are tired and miss performing in front of onces, as you said. Twice performances aren't the same without the loud fanboys in the back. And I feel like if I performed in front of empty chairs I wouldn't be that happy. Next opinion. I prefer Jennie's singing over her rapping. Not saying rapping sucks. She's very talented doing both, but I prefer her singing more. I like her voice best in Blackpink and one of my top faves overall. Her voice is very versatile. From soft and laid back, aggressive and almost growl-y and more hearty and soulful. Her voice isn't something unique or one in a million. It's just very easy on the ears and likable. I would love hear another solo song from her. I think it's unpopular because everyone always praises her rapping, want to see her rap more but not much about her singing. Both are definitely amazing. Jennie is a pretty good singer. She has a nice voice and nice flow. But I think her rapping is on another level. Anyway, next opinion. Dalla Dalla English version is better than the Korean version. I love the English version so much, like for me it's got to be one of best English version of a kpop song. I think the lyrics translate really well. I prefer this over the Korean. I don't even know why, I just do, it just hits so much harder for me personally. I'm going to assume this is unpopular because I can't really think of any English version that's more like than the Korean. Apart from maybe NCT Regular and Highway to Heaven, and I know Bad Boy English version is liked but not more than the original. Dalla Dalla English version translates so well. I think it's probably because the main parts are in English, like the I'm so Dalla Dalla and bad bad I'm sorry I'm bad, so I think that's why it works so well, but it's like 10 times better than the Korean version and I love the Korean so much. Also though, I was thinking maybe I like the English more because it's fresh and I've overplayed the Korean. I'm not sure though. Dalla Dalla English version is a bop and no one can tell me otherwise. I also think that I overplayed the Korean version a lot, and I'm really glad that they didn't get rid of Dalla Dalla or Malijima, cause if they did it wouldn't be that great. The lyrics translation was done so well. I love the song. Next opinion. Mostly all BTS title songs are forgettable. Okay, so before I start I just want to clarify. I have nothing but respect for the boys. They deserve everything they have. This is just how I feel about their songs. Please, let's respect each other. I feel that a lot of BTS title songs have some kind of side effect. A lot of them are hits. You listen to it during the hype time. But as time goes on, hype decreases, and only times when I remember that this song exists is when people start to hype it up again. If it makes sense. As an example, I remember during times when DNA was released, mostly everyone were talking, so do I, about it, listening and spreading it all over the school. After a couple of weeks, it was not such of a deal. Until this day I always forget that DNA has ever been released, until somebody mentions it or the song starts to be advertised all over the internet, and this spreads to a lot of their other releases. Songs that I think are highly in this category are Dynamite, Fake Love, Idol and Life Goes On. I completely agree with this. I don't wanna sound rude, but almost all BTS title tracks get old quickly. I never find myself listening to them. I prefer BTS's B-sides a lot more compared to their title tracks. I was about to disagree when I saw Fake Love in your list, but then I remembered that the last time I listened to that song was probably 2019. I'm not a fan of Idol. Life Goes On is very forgettable and Dynamite didn't age that well for me. Ryujin can be main dancer in another group is simply not true. I think Ryujin is definitely one of the most charismatic dancers among 4th gen female idols. Her facials are amazing, and does a good job showcasing her skills in ITZY. The way she pulled off that wannabe shoulder dance so effortlessly is still beyond me. She is also praised quite often for her isolations, popping and musicality. I don't think I've ever seen her miss a beat while doing choreo. However, Midzi's claiming that she is good enough right now to become a main dancer or that she is on the same level as, if not better than Yeji Churiyoung, is a bit of an overstatement. Ryujin is a strength power-centered dancer. She lacks the torso control fluidity that Churiyoung has and her moves are notably less sharp than Yeji's. I agree that she has improved in terms of underdancing, but her swaggy and chill style still holds her back when it comes to larger movements. The 2B2U boss stage is a good example. Notice the difference in leg movements between her and Yua in the chorus. She has trouble fleshing out movements that are meant to be more forceful, something which I commend Yuna for most of the time. It is also quite hasty to say that she can be the main dancer of another group. What even defines another group? If we're talking 4th gen, it's pretty common knowledge that the standards for dancing are unbelievably high, mostly thanks to Chiayan, Yoonbi, Yua, Mia, Sujin, and Ivs are all technically better than Ryujin, though she isn't far from them, and 3rd gen has Mo Lee Sul Sinbi who are literally dance machines. If Ryujin isn't even considered main in her own group, I don't think she could be main anywhere else. I agree. Ryujin is an amazing dancer, but there's no way she can be the main dancer in another group. 4th gen groups have amazing dancers and so do 3rd gen. Yeji and Churiyoung are better at dancing when it comes to their style of dancing. So yeah, I don't think Ryujin can be a main dancer. aespa might need better vocal training. As we all know, SM's known for having decent to good household names when it comes to vocalists. However, the standard for idol vocalists has loosened reasonably since mid-3rd gen or so, and it isn't surprising SM is no stranger to this. NCT hasn't seen a vocalist at the same level as their predecessors, but I know the group's more focused on performance overall, so that's perfectly valid. With aespa though, SM's clearly pushing their vocal ability as a selling point. From a traditional point of view at least, I know their main selling point is their avatars. So naturally I expected them to up the game for 4th gen vocalists, but that isn't happening yet. Yes, they've released only 2 songs as of now, but they are vocally demanding, and that can showcase their strengths at the same time it can expose their weaknesses. The girls have nice, pleasant voice colors, not gonna lie. Nevertheless, all of them sans maybe Karina use a very nasal approach in Black Mamba, and that carries over to Forever. Besides that, both Ningning and Winter seem to have shallow support that caps at A4, I think. Best case scenario, with some throatiness. Above that there's just overall tension. If you hear something else, feel free to disagree with me. It seems to me Karina is the only one that has a slightly more solid sense of support and better placement, with less nasality. See Forever, and she's not even part of the vocal line. aespa definitely don't have bad vocals. I'm no vocal coach, but their vocal techniques are sort of different from previous SM artists. Their voices sound slightly strained, but hey, they still hit those high notes in their debut song and have lots of time to improve. I don't stan any SM artists, but all I can say is all of their vocals slap.